Okay, so I was watching a couple of videos last night at 1 in the morning.
That was
Bobby Brock Insurance, this is Justin, can I help you?
I didn't answer.
Bobby Brock Insurance, this is Justin, can I help you?
Right.
So I was watching a couple of videos last night. First one I was watching was actually called Marketing versus Sales, and it's by Jordan Belfort, you know, the Wolf of Wall Street. So I was watching this video about marketing versus sales with him. And then I was, watching some other ones, one by Darryl Davis. And then I was watching this one that I reposted on Facebook. It wasn't about sales or training at all. It was about this guy named Darryl Davis that he was a black guy that got a bunch of KKK members to leave the KKK through time and pressure and persistence with them, right? And so I was gonna just really quickly try to talk about the difference in marketing and sales, and then bring this Darryl story into it, and how I think what he was doing was sales, and so the power of sales to try to take the sting out of the word sales. I put a video up that me and Sid did the other day about overcoming objections, and this one lady goes on there, it's like, I thought we were educating people, not sales, and they started making sales like this terrible thing. And you got to take the sting out of the word sales. Like, selling things doesn't mean you're selling, snake oil or whatever. Sometimes you're selling something that's best for people, but you have to sell yourself, product. You have to make people believe in it, even if it is the best thing for them. Sometimes people will talk themselves out of the thing that is best for them. Let them. And so you do have to sell. You can't just educate. If all it did was educate, we'd have a lot less customers. You have to be able to sell. First, I wanted to go over what the difference in marketing and sales is, right? Because a lot of people, don't know where one begins and when the other one ends. And I think we understand it pretty well in here. But marketing is how you fill your pipeline, right? So we do things like television, Facebook ads, run a little Google ads. We do some organic, you might do seminars or events or direct mail. We do a lot of different things because we believe the whole theory that everything works a little and nothing works a lot. So when you have everything together, you create a really, really comprehensive marketing plan. And it fills your pipeline full of leads. But that's not, they don't close themselves. Nobody's coming in and enrolling themselves in Medicare supplements under our name or anything like that. So you have to bring these leads that are in your pipeline down the track towards sales. So also I want to say, marketing is not buying leads. So buying leads, I was just thinking that last night, because there's a lot of people out there that are buying leads, and that's not marketing. That's like somewhere in between. It's not sales and it's not marketing. It's just a waste of time. But buying leads is not marketing, right? So everything else that's filling your pipeline other than buying leads, because that's not marketing, right? So you're filling your pipeline, but there's a big difference between marketing and sales, because sales requires you to take one of those leads and convert it into a client. Nothing groundbreaking about that. But we have to set this precedent so we can start talking about what sales is to us. Okay, so sales is moving the lead towards a client. Okay, so when you're moving a lead towards a client, the biggest part of the sales, I think, is learning how to figure out which one of these leads can become a client really quick, because you all have a finite resource called time, and you're spending time working leads. So you have to be able to figure out which one of these leads will never become a client really fast. So this video I was watching with Jordan, he breaks it down into a lot of different types of leads that come through a funnel. No matter how good your marketing platform is, you're going to get leads into your sales funnel that will never become clients. Doesn't matter what you do. There's not some magical thing that we're doing where everybody that's in there is 100% close ratio or they're potential clients. Sometimes you get people in there that are, all kinds of various backgrounds. So the way that he was breaking it down last night, and I'm going to kind of break it down, his is sales, like high-end sales. So I'm going to try to do it with a little bit of Medicare focus. But what we get is, you get some that are what they call, and this may not be the most politically correct term, I guess, but buyers in heat. right? Buyers in heat, those are people that are gonna buy, they have a need for your product and what you're selling, and they have a sense of urgency. For us, this is people that are turning 65 and losing group health. They're turning 65 and they're coming off of an individual plan that won't carry them anymore. And they have to make these decisions. So that's why those are like the Cadillac leads or the Cadillac people to talk to, because they already have some urgency. All you have to do is get them to choose you. Okay, so this is an easier, close, obviously. Then you have buyers, so their prospects are definitely have a need for your product, but there's no urgency. So for us, a lot of times this is people who are changing from one plan to another, but the plan that they currently have isn't bad. It's not super expensive, maybe it's a little overpriced, or maybe they're on a Medicare Advantage plan and they're looking at another one, but maybe that new one isn't like light years better, but there is a case to be made that it's better. So they're potential customers, but there's no urgency. There's nothing forcing them, especially in the off season when you're doing Medicare supplement rewrites. A lot of those people could kick that can down the road, and just not deal with it right now. So this one requires a little bit more sales, because you're gonna have to. I could educate somebody that saving $10 a month on their Medicare supplement is money back in their pocket, but I have to do something to make them pull the trigger on that. They're not always gonna just be like, well, yeah, it's, a lot of people are gonna say it's not worth the hassle. So you have to have some salesmanship or sales ladyship, to get them through some salesmanship. Then you got tire kickers. So these are people that will absolutely waste your time. They're not gonna change anything. I don't find these as much in the Medicare space as when you get into like annuities and life insurance. So like especially in the annuity side, they want to talk about investing, and they want to talk about big high level things, but they either don't have the money to do it, or they have zero real intention of ever coming through, but they just want to talk about it, and it makes them feel good to even be in the conversation. Okay, so that's not as much in Medicare, because they all pretty much, if they're on Medicare, they have some kind of need. Now sometimes this tire kicker could be people there could be somebody in there that's just likes the sales conversation and screwing with you, because I do that to telemarketers all the time. The last one is people who just don't qualify. And I think this is the one where we spend in our time, we spend a lot of time on these people, because sometimes, in certain cases you feel bad for them, so you spend a lot of unnecessary time. But we have to figure out ways to politely tell them we can't help them to get on with our day, because they are robbing you of your only finite resource, which is time. Money's not finite. You can make more, even though it may be hard. You can figure out how to do that. You can make more of just about anything, but you can't make more time. So if they're stealing your time, that's segments of your life. It may make you feel good to sit there, but if you can't help them, what's the conversation even going towards? I was just talking to this lady that called, and I can't help them right now. So I'm constantly trying to move that towards the politest way to tell you, maybe I can help you in October, but I can't help you right now. Let me get you on a list, we'll call you back then. But she just wants to be heard. And there's something to be said for, our clientele just want to be listened to, but we have so many of them that want to be listened to, we have to listen to the ones that we can actually help. And the rest of them, we have to politely get them towards that. Now, I've seen people talk about sales and they're like, as soon as I figure out they're not qualified, I just hang up. We don't do that. That you're being a jerk. It's not. There's no reason to do that. And the people that were saying that a lot of times were in call centers, and they don't really have any kind of brand to hold up. For us, we have brand integrity in our name. We don't want to be known as the people that just hang up on somebody every time you can't help them. Now you can drop a call. That's a little level 10 trick that only these people over here know about. But you can't, you don't want to just hang up on people because you can't help them. You want to tell them, like, I wish there was something I can do, but you fall into this, kind of, underwriting niche, or this window of inopportunity here, and maybe I can help you down here at this period, but I can't help you right now. Would you like me to get you on this list so we can try to help you when the time comes? And just get off that phone call. Even if they say, no, I'm looking for somebody to help me today, well, at least you tried. You do what you can, and then you got to get on down the road. Okay, we have plenty of people that we can talk to, or plenty of marketing efforts to continue to get more people to talk to. That's what I really wanted to break down is marketing gets you these 4 types of prospects. Sales is where you bring these prospects to the closing line, or you get them off the phone with you and you quit wasting your time with them. So half of sales is eliminating all of this mess as quickly as possible so you can focus all your energy on the people that you can actually help. That's a huge part of it. Now I wanted to talk about, because I really think that there's a case to be made that Darryl Davis was a master salesperson. I mean, probably the best. So I'm going to tell the story because, I shared this video, but not everybody's seen it. And I'm just going to tell his story really quick. And I don't want to take away from the benevolent or altruistic stuff that he did, and what he did as a human being is amazing. But I want to focus the part of it that is sales related. So Darryl Davis was a black guy who was a musician, kind of journalist, and he had kind of, I won't say infiltrate, that's what they said. He wanted to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan, and for nothing more than to start having conversations. So he gets one of his friends to get the number to one of the higher up guys named Roger Kelly in the KKK. He brings, he gets his receptionist, who's a white lady, to call this guy and set up a meeting. So they come in, and meet him at a hotel room, and it's Roger Kelly and this other guy that's in the Klan with him that's like his bodyguard. And, they're very shocked because he never told them he was a black guy. So they show up and they're kind of, shocked. But Roger Kelly stays and does the whole interview. It's a real tense. So if you haven't seen the videos, you go watch when Darryl Davis explains the whole thing. But they sit through, this entire interview and just, asking questions. And Darryl Davis is continuously very, very, just imagine the persistence to sit through that encounter. This guy that, is this white supremacist, clearly hates him just for the color of his skin, but he sits there and he's asking him questions and going through this interview. And then over time, and one of the things he says after the interview's over, he tells his receptionist, he says, I actually like Roger Kelly. I don't like, a lot of the things he believes and some of the answers to his questions, but as a person, I like him. So he starts reaching out to him and trying to get him to come to his live shows that he does, his music shows. And Roger Kelly, who's a Klansman, starts showing up to this black guy, Darryl Davis's shows. And then, he starts coming to Darryl Davis's house to eat dinner. Then eventually he starts inviting Darryl Davis to his house, and he's becoming friends with him. And over time, and there's a video of it, he announces to the Klan at a rally that he's leaving the Klan, takes his robe off, gives his robe to Darryl Davis, and tells them, this guy has been more of a friend to me than anybody in the Klan has, and I trust him. And that persistence of selling himself, I think, through Darryl Davis to this guy, made him really abandon all these crazy convictions he had given himself to the point of actually joining an organization like that. And then the next step is he even goes, he's like, well, now that I believe it, and this is a part of a sales culture, I think, too, is when you believe that you can sell. There's a clicking moment for a lot of people when they have trouble, getting a prospect to buy from them, right? And when it finally happens, you see them get this real, joy, because it's I guess it's like fishing. You get a fish to bite, and it hits, and all of a sudden you're really excited about it. And the same thing happens with selling. Once somebody says, yeah, I will buy from you, you get really excited. It's kind of like a euphoric state. and then you start believing in yourself more. So I think Darryl Davis started believing, wow, if I can make that happen one time, I can make it happen over and over again. So he finds this other guy who was a Klansman who had went to prison for these hate crimes or something, and his daughters were in the Klan, and he reaches out to the mom of the daughters, and she's real abrasive at first, and all he wants to do is pay for them to have a trip to the federal penitentiary. He wanted to pay for all their expenses so that they could visit their dad. So it's just this, this leap of faith. He starts going through all this, but he does it anyway, ends up doing it like, I think 92 times, but he's responsible for like 200 people leaving the Klan. But just imagine, like, when people think they can't sell a Medicare supplement, this guy sold 200 people out of the Klan, and he's a black guy. Like, that's pretty nuts to me. So I was sitting there watching, and I'm probably the only, jackwagon that was thinking about sales when I was watching it. But it's true, and I'm not trying to take away anything he did, from that just legitimate, humanistic perspective that was awesome. But he was persistent, and he his, all the different sales things, tonality, and and follow up, and all these things that we talk about. He was able to sell this, massive thing, I feel like. And so if you think you can't sell a Medicare supplement, just imagine if that guy could sell 200 people out of the Klan as a black guy. Surely to God, you can help somebody with their Medicare coverage or their life insurance or whatever it is. So anyway, that's what I got from last night. I was watching a few of these videos. I just wanted to kind of package that into a message that I think, hopefully would help somebody. I'm sure it'll offend somebody that I related sales and that. But I really think that's what he was doing. He's a master salesman. So Darryl Davis, Salesman of the Year. But that's it, guys. I hope that helps, some of you believe that you can, and you should be able to sell people. All you have to do is be persistent, helpful, educate, but also be able to overcome objections by being what I was talking about in that other video, empathetic, giving examples, using experiences and stories to get people to the, other side of the aisle where they become a client and they decide they want to buy from you. There's a lot of people out there you're educating that end up going and buying from somebody else because they could sell a little bit better. So hopefully that helps. And that's it.